Welcome back to the BlacVolta Podcast. Guys, we are back from traveling all over the world. I know you guys have missed us. We still haven't gotten over the Dulcie episode where you guys keep harassing us online, but we are back again today on the BlacVolta Podcast with an amazing guest. We've been hounding this guest for almost uh, for almost 3 months or 4 months. It's crazy how we've been hounding him, but today he's in our studios and he's the perfect fit for what we have in terms of our series when it comes to culture and cash. So I would like to introduce the infamous Mawuli Gavor to the BlacVolta podcast. What's good, my G?
I'm there with you, Baba. Good to see you, man. Infamous day, you take on far.
I think I'm fine.
Yeah.
But you're looking very good.
Appreciate. I mean,
Yeah,
they say I become BlacVolta Podcast. So.
But then you should have worn black. If you're coming for the oil.
No. I won't make we contrast.
You knew I'd
I
be
knew
wearing
you'd
black.
wear black, so I figured make we show the other side.
This
yeah.
is amazing. What are you wearing though?
This is Shanae. So if you know me by now, then everybody knows that.
Yeah, Shanae is I think I've seen it on your Instagram.
Yes,
I think for the past 1 month or 2 months you've been
A couple of months, yeah. I'm a creature of habit. So when I find something and it works for me, I end up sticking to this thing. So chances are if you see me every day, I'm probably wearing the same thing. So my
Yeah.
Phil and Joe shoes, I have something from Shanae. My bag will probably be Detail Africa. But it is usually the same group of people, mainly because they're from the internal network.
Makes
so
sense.
Chocolate Clothing, Elikem Kumoji,
Makes
just
sense.
people who have been there from day one.
I like that so almost everything, well, I mean it comes with your brand, but I like that a lot more people are being open to Ghanaian African brands now. They wear more African brands. They are very,
Absolutely.
very passionate about what they wear and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Is that a thing for you also?
So for me, it's been conscious since the beginning. I always found that this is before social media. This is before all of those things. I came to find that if you're intentional about the things that you do and intentional about wanting people to know that you're African, after a while it translates into different things for just your life in general.
Makes
So I
sense.
used to wear these two rings. I had my Ghana ring and then an Africa ring. These two bronze ones. And wherever I would go, if I was shooting in Jamaica or whatever it is, people would always ask me
Where-
about the
where-
two
where?
things. Yes, and I loved it. And oh yeah, this is Ghana. I'm from Ghana. Then I get to talk about Ghana a little.
Makes sense.
It's one of those like one of my good friends, one of my mentors, Debola Williams. You also know he does the red cap just as a way to with the Adbada.
Yes,
and it's
yes,
a
yes,
thing about
yes.
consistency to be able to say that. So no, I'm not gonna have one particular uniform, but chances are if you see me last, I'm
Last,
gonna wear
last,
African.
last,
It's gonna
last,
be
last.
some kind of African wear. Even if it's a suit, even if it's a whatever it is, it's always gonna be African.
Interesting. So welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, bro.
We've been colleagues for this is something you guys don't know. We've been colleagues for a very, very long time.
More than 15 years now, probably.
I think even more than that.
That was more than
Yeah. We used to play basketball together. I used to dunk on him back in the day. You understand?
No. Problem not there. It's true. It's your own side. But yeah, way back.
But anyway,
But I find it beautiful though.
yeah. Let people let's hear about your journey. Let's start all the way back from Alpha
Also, I
Beta.
know it.
Alpha Beta. So tell us about your journey up until you started acting. Tell us about that.
The journey they go long, but I can try to do the main touch points, and then for those who wanted it, it's online all over the place. But so maybe I'll try to talk about the things that I usually don't talk about. Like Joey said, we went to school in Dansoman. So I went to primary school at Alpha Beta, and I used to live there before I now moved and everything. So it was a big part of putting together who I was, and the school that I went to, Alpha Beta. It's run by the Ajipongs. I think that was one of the reasons why I veered into
So
what
if you
I...
fool that about, like
Oh,
they say, like
no be that about
fool
matter. No be
but
that
you're
about
paying
matter.
dollars now.
Alpha Beta. Oh
Yeah.
no, it was only later that we started paying dollars. Alpha Beta, we started from fun fact. We started Alpha Beta from the Ajipongs living room.
Oh,
So we built it from scratch. So my brother was the first class of Alpha Beta, and they
Okay.
were still living in the Ajipongs house. We started school from their house. So that's where me and my Sammy, we were in the same nursery together and everything.
Oh,
So
I see.
it's literally brick by brick by brick. So you know, be that about matter. Eventually became a
Eventually
Dadabi. Eventually
became
became a Dadabi school, but it's through hard work and everything. But I was making the point that it's one of the things that shaped me because it allowed me to have this thing from early that the status quo doesn't necessarily have to define you. So back then we used to study, Charlie, you go to go school, you learn pre-tech, and I used to think the GSS curriculum, I used to think half of the subjects were redundant. I used to think it was a bunch of rubbish.
Back in the day, you used to
Back in
think.
the day. Back in the day, it was a bunch of rubbish. Why were we spending 45 minutes drawing a grasshopper? You the kind of those days, they draw, yeah.
Then pig.
Then you go draw the pig. Then you do, yeah. There's a Sokoto red. You're naming all of these something, or you're drawing like a chisel. One of them ones. Now, I'm not saying it's not good education, but now if you look at how people are being educated, it's better to teach people the whys as opposed to the what. So we used to learn the computer and we'll say, oh, what is a computer? A computer is a device that, what is a mouse? A mouse is something, why in the world are we learning what a mouse is? We should have been learning the applications of those things. Back to why Alpha Beta was special for me. I feel like it opened my mind through the principle of Mrs. Sajopong. And she sort of put this thing in us that, Baba, forget what everybody's telling you that you're supposed to be. There's nothing that you can't do. You go if you do anything. And we started, I remember I was learning salsa. I was trying my hands at taekwondo, pottery, tie and dye.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Back in the tie and dye, I used to draw comics for the newspaper. I used to do all sorts of things. I did tell you, Alpha Beta there.
You're joking.
I did tell you, yes. They formed a thing called Saturday School for the Gifted. So anybody who wanted to do something outside, if you just go. We used to write books. We got a book published. I used to draw back in the day. I had a sketch and it got picked up for the newspapers. We used to make music, all of those things. But that sort of led me on this, Baba, anything you go free do. And I'm spending the most time on that because that's probably the one thing that I haven't spoken about. But now that I think about it, it probably identifies why I do the rest of the things that I do. So through it all, at every point, I never have a fear to just try new things.
Interesting.
So I grew up not wanting to be a doctor, lawyer, none of those things, because I knew that I could be any of them if I really wanted to.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them I go shine small, some of them I sure say I go bomb. I'm not saying I would have been the best at any of them. I'm saying I could have been. So when that led to going to SOS, now you work hard, and then I went to
Another about school, okay.
No, have you done anything? How
You guys, I hope you have.
No, but how you good do? What can I say? My parents worked very hard because it's not even like they had it like that. And now you grow up and you become an adult, you realize they don't get time. Those days they don't get time, but they still manage, organize to do all of us, to send all 3 kids to SOS, to send all 3 kids to the States without having shit.
So then SOS, and then you.
Then I went to Franklin and Marshall in the States, and then that'd be where everything just started go.
What did you study in the States?
My whole life I've been doing business management or computer science. I thought those were the 2 things that I would always end up with because of my dad and everything. So my whole life, that'd be all that I do. But it ended up being this thing where when I was in the States briefly, when I was 19, I took a small risk. Like I said, me, I go fee do anything. I had this, there's nothing that you can do. So there was an opportunity to do modeling in New York City. I got recruited by some modeling agency, random. I was 19, I got an email. And I said, well, why not? My brother was living in New York. I take some small bus. I went there, didn't know anybody. I looked around, I went for the audition. I got picked, but I never made it to the final stage because they required me to do a bunch of things that I wasn't ready for. I was still in school, mind you. But the photos existed. So fast forward a few years, this is 4 years later, I moved back to Ghana. I'm doing my normal job, accountant. I did KPMG.
You worked at KPMG?
When I first moved back to Ghana, because bro, that was the path. That was I go to school, I come back, I get Joey. You know how Ghana is. He's with EcoBank, he's with Stanbic. Oh, where's Joey right now? Joey is with. Our parents just love to just mention names. But I thought, hey, there's a lot of things that I can do with myself. Point is, those photos existed, and at that particular time, Martini wanted to do this 150th anniversary campaign, so they were looking for a brand ambassador. Happened to have a friend who's there, and they said, "Oh, use this guy," because they went online and saw those old photos when I was 19. So they assumed I was a model. They assumed I was a model.
You blow for
Yankee. Because these photos are being in New York and everything. So they're thinking, oh, this international model, Baba, someone boy, I just moved, come back, and everything. So they reach out and they're like, Baba, are you interested in being a brand ambassador for Martini? Me too, I say, like from the kiddie time, why not? We go try them. So I'm like, all right, cool. But I still had my main job. It proved to be too difficult to do both jobs. especially because if you know for an organization like that, you can't do that and be on billboards and everything. Just you can't be working with
So wait,
sensitive
wait. Were
data.
you an intern at KPMG? Like
No,
were
not
you
be
work?
intern. I was a full
You're a
employee.
full-time
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
employee, and
yeah.
then Martini reached out to you to
Yes.
be a brand ambassador.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So again, I'm thinking, why not try to do both things at the same time? It just turns out that you can't really do the two at the same time. So I was thinking, maybe I just leave the job small because the job, we say they're my main dream. It's not even like that was like my dream come true or whatever. So I'm thinking, hey, I'm just gonna take a few weeks, go do this thing, and then I'm gonna come back quickly to the job. So I ended up resigning my job.
Ah,
I mean, how we go do on Charlie?
I don't get it.
Resigning my job.
What made you leave KPMG?
Right now, they take fast on the other side. I'll put it like this. Sometimes in life, they say money stops nonsense. Yeah.
How much were you making at KPMG?
So back then, I was actually making 770 CDs. That was my monthly
week or
salary.
what?
A month.
You're making 770
I was
CDs
making
a month.
770 CDs. Well, I had a transportation allowance of about 400 and something CDs. So when you add it all up, my salary was about 1,300 thereabout. But at least 400 of that money for enter your transportation because you forgo other people's sites. So that was nothing.
Okay.
I was making more as a summer employee in college time like this. So imagine if I move come back, that's my main salary and everything, Charlie. Right now, how we go run now.
I see.
So I remember back then, but don't forget this is what my life is supposed to be. So I'm thinking salary or no salary, because don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
the salary is not the main reason
Yeah,
you work
yeah,
at those places.
yeah,
You work
yeah.
there for the name,
And
and
then
after
the-
a few years, having that name on your CV will do more for you than any salary. But I know me say for the pay you 770 cities, so
Okay.
for next time be here. But I'm saying, I was in a meeting with Martina because we were struggling to do both. I would tell them that I have a job, I got to be at the job at 8 o'clock. They would say, okay, Charlie, cool, let's do the photo shoot for the billboard at 6 a.m. You go run on, by that time you go, Charlie, the people won't show up till like 11 a.m. Man, I get job. I get full job, I wear my tie and everything, they wait for me. And then I did somewhere to do photo shoot and everything, they do lipstick on my mouth. And be, okay, smile, I'm hot. And then I'd have to go to work and be like, yo, listen, I'm so sorry. So eventually, like I said, I knew that I couldn't do both. So I told the Martini people, say, Charlie, guys, this thing is not working out. I wanted to tell them I'm going back to my job. They said, but how much are you making?
And to the 70 euros?
So I wrote, they said, how much you make a year? So I just wrote down the whole thing for me. And then they said, how much am I making a year? I wrote it down and I gave it to them. And they looked at it and they were like, if this be the case, we'll give that to you today. So they said they would give me my year's salary, what I would have made from working 1 year over there. They said they would give them to me today. They said, Charlie, Kashe, can you please organize the something? So right now, me being a practical person, that thing happened and I was like, I just went back to the office, I just hit my desk and I started type, dear sir, I have loved working here, so it's at the time to HR. Yeah, it is with profound regrets. But if somebody gave you your 1 year salary in 1 day, not even like 1 month, they were going to give
1 day.
Yeah, 1 day, 1 day, 1 day. So it's one of the reasons why I struggle to ever go back to living the regular 9 to 5. Because I figured that if you can figure out a way to work within the creative economy, it's not necessarily that you make so much more money, but you save so much more time. So I can be making the same amount of money, but I will work 30 minutes to make the same money that I would have had to work from 9 a.m. all the way till something. So that'd be the balance.
So the trade-off is the time that you have as opposed to the money that you interested.
But that brings us to today. Not today, but through all of that, I ended up not going back to the job. I ended up moving to Nigeria, staying there for 5 years, 5.5 actually. And then finding my way back to Ghana, building a club, building restaurants.
Interesting. So then how did you, so was Martini your entry point into acting?
Martini was my entry point into large scale Ghanaian operation, I guess. I had done one film with Shirley Frimpong that was Devil in the Detail, which is again, Shirley, see, if I tell you.
Shout out to...
Shout out to no. Yeah, so Shirley pretty much started me off. And
I see.
My story has always been people who saw more in me than I even saw in myself. So when I first started, I didn't want to act. I thought I was just going to do modeling. My manager at the time, Kofi Doku, very stubborn guy. Whatever he saw in me, I will forever thank him for that because he saw that I could do it all. So he's like, listen, I know you just want to act, you just want to do something. I think you can do it all. So let's just go. Don't worry, let's just go. So he took me to see Shirley. He hooked it up. I auditioned. I got the role. Next thing you know, a few weeks later, I was shooting a film. And the film ended up being big. It was huge. Devil in the Detail. So again, I ended up on this big something. Martini, I go do the Smarty Martini. Boom, it ended up blowing up. So right now I'm on billboards and everything. So it wasn't that I planned it per se. But they say waiting for you, if you lose. So sometimes when it's your time, it's your time. So I sort of just got that feeling that, hey, listen, maybe there's something going on. Maybe I should
actually take this
I should
acting.
see where this whole thing goes. Yeah, that's why I made the move to Nigeria because everybody knew that that's where the action was. But we always want to tap in from afar.
From
How do you
afar.
break in? How do you break into somewhere from afar?
I like how you put it. There are two things I want to piggyback off what you mentioned. First of all, as a young person who had just left KPMG, was on billboards doing martini and things like that, you had a manager.
Yes, absolutely.
Was that like your own prerogative to get a manager,
So I
or
reached out to him, yes, because again, my small interaction with entertainment was from New York, so I knew how it was supposed to be done. So back then in Ghana, people weren't really using the managers like that. So even when I came, I knew that I needed somebody, and I needed somebody who I could trust. So my former manager, I went to school. He was my senior in school. He lashed me and everything at school, so, which was actually very funny. He went from lashing me to being, I'm joking, but he saw it and he understood. He always had that mindset. And when I say he is the reason that I was able to do everything, I guarantee you that he is the main reason. Because having a manager changed everything for me. Everything from how I should dress. He's the one who used to tell me, Mawuli, you have to dress a particular way. Don't worry. He would make the outfits for me himself. He would have his fiance do it. He would pay for that. Get me money, let's go to the gym. He got me flash kick and everything. Let's start working out. You go buy food, salads, this and that and that. Baba eats this. I'm telling you,
Wow.
anybody who used to know me on a film set would know that my manager would show up. And on the film sets where everybody is eating like some regular something, he's gone to buy like maybe food from Golden Tulip. He's brought it to me. And this is all at his own cost. Because he saw something long term in me that even I didn't see.
that you didn't.
And having that level of management and having that somebody to push you and to organize things, it sort of started me off in the right way.
Interesting.
And then that's how we went from step A to B to C to D to E.
And then so how did you like on resigning, how did your friends and family take it?
Oh, everybody thought I was crazy. You know, it's one of them things in Ghana where nobody's going to tell you, which is what I love about Ghana. Nobody's going to tell you that they're talking about you like you're crazy, but they're all asking themselves, like, yes, Joey leaving job, but they say they go to entertainment. But why? Everything cool, you know, like, yeah.
Everything
you know how they go, yeah, yes, Joey, like they say, like, they do blogging or vlogging or it's just say, Joey, right now be blogger, but why? The HR place, they suck them or what? You know, that's how people will say it. Like, even so, your family, my parents will get phone calls, listen, I heard Mawuli says he's doing entertainment now. Is everything okay?
Is everything okay?
Yeah, because back then it wasn't a very lucrative thing to get into. But again, because of where I started from school, I always knew that if I'm going to do something, I can do it. I never knew how I was going to do it.
But you
I knew that I could
just
do it.
had that belief that
you
you
go
could
vim up and then you could just do it. So my parents didn't necessarily take it super easy. But the one thing I give my parents credit for, they are willing to listen. So at first they were like, are you crazy? This and that. How can you do this? How can you do that? And I explained to them that, to be honest, number one, this is something that I feel that I can do. So like it's the one thing that I'll give my parents credit for, the fact that they actually listen. I had to tell them, hey, listen, I know that this is crazy. I know that you guys must be going. I know that you're getting all the phone calls and everything. Number one, it doesn't matter what people are saying. I need you to believe in me, your son. And please look at me when I say I know what I'm doing. It might seem crazy to you, but I know that I can do this. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I know that I can do it. And even if I fail, I fail. I'll come back and then, hey, you guys will have to take me back and everything.
Yeah.
So, but they gave this, okay, so if you are sure about what you're doing, then go ahead and then go do what you need to do. Fast forward a few years, right now, if they call me, my father barely calls me. If he calls me, it's because he's somebody who, they say, Mawuli, talk to your fan. They say, yeah. Or like my mom's like, yeah, these people don't believe that I'm your mom. Talk, yeah.
I feel like it's a typical Ghanaian thing.
Yes.
When they are against it at least in the initially, then when you start blowing up, they try and tell they get is it
I came here to catch up with you. So Yusuf, if you told me what we did here before I forget, Seth, because even Yusuf, we've been talking so much about Dansuman beginnings and early beginnings and everything. You know, if you just stay here, you'll catch me. You know the talk here. Because let's be real.
Mawuli, you are on the podcast.
No. Everyone a podcast. Right now, everyone a podcast. BVMG podcast. No, but people definitely want to know, especially people who know where you came from and everything. DC boy and everything. When you started, people were like, why is this guy going around? You tell me, or people know this. People weren't saying those things.
No. A lot of even up till now, like I think I keep telling this story that even for my parents, I'll use my parents as an example. The thing is, for my parents, they had totally no understanding of what I was doing.
Whole direction.
Yeah, right. Initially, it was my parents. It was more of like, you're always out. The women, drugs, sex,
Yeah,
alcohol.
yeah.
Like you're always out. Like so, my parents didn't understand why I kept going out personally every single time, until they started seeing things like, and it's always around things like when they start um realizing that you start getting accolades.
Yes.
Right, you're
Other
on
people are
TV.
mentioning your
The
name.
other people
Yep.
are mentioning your name, and then they come to have an understanding of what you're doing. Then it's like a free flight from there. You know,
Yes.
don't go close to what he's doing. This is what
This
he's
is what
doing.
he wants to do. So,
Yes,
yup. Yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
it comes to time, but I also don't blame them. I also think it's also a generational issue, right?
Absolutely.
I mean,
Absolutely.
I think parents now will be more in tune with
Yes.
their kids going into the entertainment creative industry.
Yeah,
They are
but even
more,
that one, wouldn't you think that now we even stand the risk of other people who might be going too far into it? Because everybody wants to be a BlacVolta and everybody thinks that you can just jump in and enter money. Look at all the things that had to happen for me to be successful.
I
All
think
the
most
things
of the
that had to
I
happen for
think most
you.
of the people that also shine in these particular spaces, well, at least 80% of the people that I speak to always have like a corporate background to everything that they did. You
It's
understand?
helpful.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Not necessarily they worked in corporate, but they have that
Yes.
fundamental
Yes.
basics of how to actually operate in a business setting, and then they add
Yes.
the creativity on top
Because in
of it.
Africa, the entertainment side doesn't have business infrastructure. So if you can't build that infrastructure for yourself, you're going to be left flailing. I remember we lost a little while ago one of the only entertainment lawyers. She wasn't the only one, but she was one of the main ones. I think she was Sarko's lawyer
Yeah,
and
yeah,
everything.
yeah, yeah.
And I remember people talking about the fact that she's literally one of maybe like two proper entertainment lawyers. And then I found that to be so ridiculous.
Yeah,
Because then
yeah.
who signs all these deals? Who does all the due diligence for all of these
But
things?
is it attractive enough for people to come as at now? Like if you were in like now you've been in the creative space, but
Yeah.
if you were working KPMG up until now and someone asked you to move into the creative scene or the entertainment scene, maybe still from a finance perspective, is it appealing enough to you? Will it be appealing enough to you?
In a growth market, absolutely. So you know the stats about where Africa and everything is. Some people talk about, they say, oh, Africa, it's your time now and everything. It's always been Africa's time. Maybe we're just seeing it. Africa has always been cool. It's always been trendy. Maybe back then, because of one reason or the other, we didn't want to see it. So now the world is seeing that we're doing what we've always been doing. Music, and not be today we start doing music.
It is true.
We just lost Daddy Lumba, may his soul rest in peace. But not be today. We've been doing this for a while. So now the Remas and the Burner Boys and the Kiddies, the Storm Boys, now they're living off what the other people laid the groundwork for. The same way even with film. But
Yeah.
David Donto, Mame Dokuno, all of
I
them
think about it.
people, they've been Brew Riverson Jr., they've
Yeah.
been hustling
Yeah.
way before. It's just that they've laid the little foundation that we were able to use to go
right,
on.
to
So
go.
the growth sector of Africa right now, it's on one of the fastest paced trajectories that I think you can. By what, 2050, I believe, 1 in 4 people are going to be African. Which means that it's going to be impossible to ignore the continent.
It's totally
So if there
impossible.
was ever a time to get into it, you ask whether it's attractive. It may not be attractive with regards to the results, but if you're long-term oriented and if you can see the trend of things that are going on, you will see. When I first started in movies, there was not a single African film on Netflix, or there was not a single
Not
West
even
African
one,
film.
yeah.
Not one. You know, if you find one, you understand. That's why Chief Daddy ended up being such a big deal, because it was one of the first that Netflix acquired. I mean, they did Lionheart and then they did Chief Daddy, so it became one of the. And now you see left, right, center, everybody just stay inside. But I started my production company back then, a small one, because I could see that the research was showing that Africa is going to become the future. So I entered into that space from the corporate side early, and now I'm reaping the benefits where now I have my production company that we're able to do one or two small productions.
Interesting,
man.
interesting. And then you went straight forward into Nigeria. Like,
Yes, so-
I wanted to, before you even, let's talk about the Nigeria thing. Which Vim you get to enter Nigeria? Like, I don't understand. Like, I'm sure you're one of the very few actors who, you know, people who want to act always, okay, let's
Yo.
start off in Ghana. But like, you are just like, you know
Yeah.
what? Let me go straight to where the juice
And I
is.
knew nobody there, not a single person.
You didn't know anybody in Nigeria, and you stayed there for how many years?
So 5 years. Well, when I was going, I thought I was going for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So I told my family, people say, "Child, I just go do something. I'll come in 3 weeks," type of thing. But I reached there. I'm not gonna say so. The system there. Before I realized, boom, I was there for 1 year. Then I got renewed. I ended up staying and staying. By far the craziest thing I've ever done. Because like I said, when I landed, I'll give you a funny story. I landed during Ebola time. I went there for my audition when there was an Ebola scare. So even the fact that getting on a plane, when they say Ebola Day somewhere, you they go see, everybody is like, bro, are you crazy? But it's one of those, if you know it inside of you, there's something that tells you that you can do it. Maybe it's just God saying, I've got your back. Go into this war. Even if you fail, I dare your back still. Go and fail and come back home type of thing. So like, I was like, I just not going to shake anybody's hand. But I was terrified. Again, I knew nobody over there. I've never been. So I went by myself and everything. God being good, the audition went very well. I say all of this because you notice today I'm talking about people who I might not have spoken too much about.
Yeah.
Because they played such key roles in my growth that it's unfair of me to keep doing these interviews and not spending time talking about them. So I'm not talking about the things that I usually talk about. Chris Atto, for instance. My former manager, KD, Chris Atto, two of the biggest influences of Shirley Frimpong, obviously.
I think Chris Atto has had a very, very profound influence.
You have no idea. Yeah. So if he didn't give me the vim, because so Chris had already gone to Nigeria, he had conquered Nigeria, he had done very well, he had moved on to SA and everything, but he did it by actually going there. So he spoke to me and we had discussed growing together. I'd done a film with him. We had discussed just growing the industry together and everything, and just the vim that you can't sit down and go. You for vim up, then go do.
Then go do them.
So he called me. He's like, "Listen, there's this opportunity for you that I got with Mnet. I talked to them. They excited to meet you. Are you interested?" I was like, "But I don't know anybody for this." He said, "Listen, Mawuli, just go to the airport, buy a ticket." I was like, "Chris, you say it." He said, "Mawuli, trust me." I say, "Charlie." So my last money, that time I had maybe like 1,600 cedis in my account. The ticket was about 1,400 cedis. You understand? So my last money in the world where this is not the money where I just used to buy that ticket. I landed there. I remember a cheap ass hotel and everything. I just find one hotel, but and the hotel was even too expensive. So I ended up going there, doing the audition, and I sat in the airport for 6 hours just waiting, and then I flew back. I don't get money for a hotel, so how you gonna do it? So I saved the hotel money, flew there, did the audition. I came back, sat in the airport, and then I just flew back to Ghana. But I ended up getting the role, and that role ended up being one of the biggest things that happened to me because it was in a TV show called Hush. That's where I ended up working with RMD, and that's how me and him became close because I played his son for a year.
I see.
And on that show, we filmed about 290-something days in 1 year because we were filming about Monday to Saturday every week. You're filming 6 days a week. It'd be a full-time job, back to back to back to back, but it ended up being to my favor because I was with RMD all the time. That's how I learned, I grew. I learned from all these other legends and everything, or young people who were also coming up.
Interesting.
So I ended up diving into the deep end, and then Nigeria sort of just took off. So one thing I go do for Nigeria, now it's a big show with RMD and everything. That one to blow up. So right now, oh my God, do you want to stay? Then they gave me 53 extra. I was hosting a TV show for Mnet. So I became an Mnet official employee where like I get my whole 9-to-5 job and everything. So that was the main reason I couldn't come back to Ghana.
Come back to Ghana.
Because now I'm working for Mnet and their studios are in Nigeria or they're in SA. So I couldn't work for Mnet and be in Ghana. So I said, problem no, I would just stay in Nigeria. And then one movie role comes, another movie role comes. And by God's grace, each movie ended up being bigger than the next. So Sugar Rush would come, boom. This one would come, boom. And then
interesting.
Yeah.
Everyone
but it all comes from just being willing to do whatever it is.
Everyone keeps comparing the Ghanaian and the Nigerian industry. Give us like 2 interesting facts about like the Nigerian industry, like maybe in terms of personality or in terms of let us know how it is.
I saw my beautiful sister Gloria Safo has been defending. I think people saw that. They thought she was fighting. I don't think she was fighting. I think she was just trying to speak her mind from a passionate point of view, and I could understand both sides. I know some other people came to detract from her and everything. It's tough to compare both industries because you're comparing 2 different types of people. The one thing that I learned living in Nigeria and then coming back later on was that, you know, when people say Ghanaians are slow or we're laid back, we're not necessarily slow, we're just laid back because we've tried to live our life in a way that we don't let our problems be the only thing that defines our lives.
I like that.
Nigeria problem day your head when they Lagos. You have been to Lagos together. You've seen the atmosphere. When problem day your head off like that, it's hard. So you see everybody seems agitated and everything.
Very.
Problem day. When they hear generated the whole time, but in Ghana we found a way to live lives where deep breath and then and then sure this and that and that. And it's helpful in one way. Maybe it helps us live longer, let's hope. But it prevents us from chasing our dreams the way I would have liked for us to chase our dreams. So that became the biggest difference from what I saw over there. Over there, if there's a dream, they would chase it 110,000%. And then if you fail, you fail. I think we're a bit more comfortable. So you have people who maybe were trying to pave the place in front of your house, but they'll come and tell you, why are you paving it? That's where I saw my banku. And you're like, no, leave me for a few weeks, let me pave it so it's nice. And then when you're done, you saw your banku. They say, no, no, no. So they'll start, and then you notice the residents will come and take off the pavement blocks. Because sometimes we're content in where we are.
Where we are.
That, for me, was the biggest difference in Ghana and Nigeria. Because you don't see that level of content, and then you can always see that they want to push no matter what.
No
So
matter
in the
what
film
it-
industry, in the music industry, and everything, it became by fire, by force. Whatever it takes, I could do that. I'm gonna do this thing. You understand? Any small opportunity, pa, before you realize they go. Files did. This is Nigeria, I think, and I think Diddy commented on it. This is before Diddy had problems. Commented on it. Diddy was one of the biggest in the world and everything. Before you realize, management don't organize. Files was in America. A few days later, Diddy's house. They don't take
They
pictures
take.
together.
They are very, very quick. They move-
Intentional.
yeah.
Capitalize on that moment. Boom, boom, boom. You're already gone.
Is that the? Do you think now in the creative space, the best way to approach things? Should we jump on? Should Ghanaians assume or should we just stick to our culture of being? You understand, like.
Yeah. Do you remember what's his name? Sai. Opa Gangnam Style. Yeah. You remember him, right?
Yeah.
We still remember him.
Yeah.
You know, he's still touring to this day.
Yeah.
But you know, he hasn't had, I mean, he still does songs and everything, but he hasn't had anything that has been as close to as something as possible. But we still decry him to this day.
Yeah.
Why? Because when it was his time, the guy make sure Sivava I go strike, and he was everywhere. We did it. He was doing tours. He would do, because you never know when your next big thing is gonna come. We all walk around assuming that, oh, there's time. So even in Ghana, we have these amazing talents. So we have all these. See, they were to pray for the young boys like the Kojo Blacks and like all these like boys out there. Even Kiddy and the rest. I'm happy that at least he get links and some structure behind him. But just in general, all the young talent that we have here, I pray that while they are here and while they are showing us all this incredible talent, there will be enough people around them and around all of us, not just musicians, but filmmakers who will see that this talent is here now. We don't know how long it's going to be here. Let's jump on this. Let's push this. Let's put our everything into it as far as we can, and then let's just see how it goes. Maybe it might work, maybe it might not work, but if I do you see Olamide and how he pushed Fireboy and Ashake and Rima, how Don Jazzy pushed all of his people. And Don Jazzy pushed all his people to the point say, he saved to do content for them.
Yeah.
If Johnny Drill gets song, Don Jazzy will come out in phone, they do film content, they dance for it, something. Because at the end of the day, what other time is there but now? What other time? We keep pretending like, oh, everything is guaranteed. It's sure for us. It's too sure for us. The one thing that COVID showed us is that there's no such thing as it's sure too much. I'm not gonna lie. And COVID for me was one of the biggest turning points in my life because I really see Shege. I saw COVID during when I was transitioning from entertainment to business to being more of a businessman and everything. And that'd be where I see the most Shege for life inside. So yes, if there's ever a time to do something, do it now. Trust me. Just do them now. No wait for anybody. Do them now. Trust me.
Okay. So then Nigeria. Then you started acting. You started doing all these amazing movies, working with all these amazing producers. What would you say has been your most meaningful movie up until date?
Meaningful. I would say meaningful series of movies, or the people who I got to work with, and that was working with Moabudu and Ebony Life.
Yeah.
Because it taught me two things. Number one, that's working on the absolute highest level. Anybody who knows Nigeria, who knows Auntie Mo, knows that woman doesn't do anything that is here. If she's going to do something, it's going to be up here. So seeing somebody go hard for her dreams, just go all out. When I say go all out, bro.
Go all out.
I mean, back then, nobody had put together an ensemble cast the way Chief Daddy did. Do you know how much it costs to put together RMD, Shafi Bello, Patience Ozoko, and Kem Owo, me, Files, Linda, Jofor, like all of these. There was like 20-something
Stars.
top in the end, everybody top. So me, those days we used to get there, and I'm thinking, bro, I know how much I'm charging these people, and the money I had to charge them is plenty. I also already going to charge them like that. So I didn't look like that.
What's your highest paying movie?
One of my highest, yeah, because you get paid for the time that you spend. So for the time that and for how much I paid, yes, it was the other one I shot in Namibia was also very high paying because it was an international film.
Before you continue, what's the average? Like, what would you say, like, the highest top paid actors are paid in Nigeria?
it's tough. It's tough to listen because there's, you know how there's like the 1% and then everybody did a middle.
We
and
want
then
to know
there's
the
other
1%. We want to know the well, like for a typical high-end movie in Nigeria, how much is like a top actor or actress being paid? Range.
So usually you get paid. I was gonna say we get paid. As if me. I beg you. We are not there inside like that. So. No. So you get paid based on the time that you spend on set.
Okay.
Usually there's a production that wants you. It might be amazing. It's one of the reasons we don't shoot for 3 months, 4 months like Hollywood films because it's tough to pay that money. So you might get paid an amount of money, but you might only have to film for 4 days, which means that with regards to how much you've made per this thing, that's your most lucrative. Or you might get paid an amount of money, or you be there for 2 months. So it becomes, but you can make. It can be anything. I'm not saying I go expose something. You can make tens of thousands of dollars. You're not necessarily making hundreds of thousands of dollars per project yet, because the whole project, say the budget's gonna be like 300,000, maybe $1 million. So if you pay each actor 500, your money finished with that. So usually the big actors end up taking pay cuts, but it also means that you can take a back end deal where you get money as the film makes money in the future. So you can end up making tens to hundreds of thousands of dollars if you're at the top end of the thing in Africa, which compared to where we came from is astounding. Is astounding. So, but again, levels day. If I tell you how much Joey they chop when Joey they go America, when Joey they go America and everything, Joey. So you for the bloggers and everything, what's the average? Where you do? You are BET, my brother. You went to BET, you went to Oscar, you went to this, you went to that. How much Oscar?
Please, I'm telling you right now, everybody that's in the media space, BlacVolta will make $1 million. I'm telling you right now.
You know, it's my part-time job. I had to work for GRA.
But this is when I go anytime. Anyway,
I'm there with you.
I'm still in the movie scene. Is there any movie that you particularly like? You felt like you regret doing, like one that went south?
I should probably finish the Mwabudu one. Yes, Chief Daddy was my most meaningful, not because of the money, but because I got to work with Auntie Mo, and working with her, I would say also elevated me to that next step because number one, you're around all of these people and depending on your personality, you get to be friends with them. So I can say, oh, Auntie Patience Ozoko, who is my absolute hero, is my friend. Or I can say Auntie Shafi Bello, also legend, is my friend. I can say RMD, that's my brother.
And at this point, you are the only Ghanaian.
Absolutely, yeah. Which was, again, a big something. But it makes it such that your network is able to grow and be better. So working with Ebony Life, I did Chief Daddy and I did a number of other projects with them. But it was also great with regards to showing how things are supposed to be done. So on that set, you have an artist coordinator, you have somebody assigned to you to make sure that you've eaten, somebody assigned to you to make sure that your clothes are done and everything. It's done in the right way. And it showed everybody what the standard was supposed to be. So that was what I gained the most from with regards to us seeing that this thing is possible. But it also made me work with the best of the best. So Nii Akimolayan, who's one of the best, like the dopest directors in Nigeria. Because he's he did a wedding party, he did Chief Daddy, but he does these animation films. He owns Ant Hill Studios, and they're at the forefront of just changing the whole narrative behind what is possible for entertainment. And I love people who think like that. You work with the Kayode Kasums, and working with Ebony Life just opened up the door to working with the best of the best. Let me put it like that. And then just a set that I hated. Down there. It was in Ghana. I'm not even. It was one of the reasons. Funny enough, so we never finished shooting that film because Charlie, the money they never paid the money, this and that. They didn't even pay me my full salary, if I'm being honest. So that was also not. There's a bunch of films that I've never finished. But I tell you stories for here, Charlie. There's films that sometimes a producer might say maybe they like you but you don't like them, so they will not pay you your money. Or like it's not.
It happens.
Absolutely. Somebody can say, hey, listen, I was in the middle of a film shoot and somebody is like, hey, like a producer starts moving to me funny. I'm like, well, what's happening? And moving a bit funny, come over. I'm like, hey, you know what? If just pay me my money and let me go. And the guy's like, no, you refuse to be nice to me, so I'm not going to be nice to you. So I never got my money back, but the film also never came out, and problem no day.
And this is Ghana.
No. So that was actually Nigeria. But the Ghana one, they were just wasting my time. It was in the early stages, but again, the way things are supposed to be done. You're supposed to plan and prepare. What is your call sheet? What is your call time? Have you planned for all of these things? We would get there and we're flipping to, okay, what scene are we shooting? We'll shoot scene 24. Okay, go and get the, what is all of that? So I hated it because it was done in the most amateur way. I'm not going to mention their names now, but maybe one day. But I hated that because I hate my time being wasted,
Yeah, yeah,
and that's
yeah,
the only
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
So
The
that's it
the
for the
the the
films.
the navigating the creative scene, being in the movie space, pretty boy,
Hey.
always on camera with all these. How do you like? I'm sure it comes, but how do you navigate the fame and the women?
You get better at navigating it because at first maybe you don't understand it. At first, when
How
it
was how was
starts,
it how was it the first time?
in the
Like,
beginning, it's very confusing, especially because Nigerians have a different celebrity culture than Ghana. So in Nigeria, nobody minds coming up to you and say, "Listen, I love your films. Oh my God, blah blah blah. I love like this and that." Whether the person has money, I've had people turn around their Range Rover in traffic to chase me down and be like, "Oh, my name is Doctor So and So. My wife loves your movies. Can I get a photo?" type of thing. Their culture is way more intense. So it was very confusing. And it's possible that you might, if you deceive yourself, you go start to the thing, say, I don't, my shoulder go just the raise. But I think I caught myself early enough because, like I said, I was working with some of the biggest and the best over there, and they weren't arrogant. So I'm thinking, hey, if these people manage to be like that, then surely I
yeah,
can be humble. So once I started to understand it, a lot of the attention and everything, it's not always they want so much from you. A woman might want to just take a photo with you because that's her memory, that's her little snapshot, and then she's done. It's when we as the entertainers try to take advantage of that. So when I know that you take the picture finish and after you take a it's okay, dear. So where are you going? What do you want to do? This and
what
that.
do you want to do?
When you push into that, then you might take advantage of it. But it's not that hard once you learn that not everything necessarily has to end up in some sort of a
I
physical
I feel like the
altercation.
movie
Treat a fan for
space
who they
is
are.
one of the spaces where you guys are very, very, like in the music you always hear all these controversies, but normally you typically don't hear a lot of these controversies in
we,
the
we,
movie.
we, we try our best.
Okay.
We try our best. Also, having my own family and everything ended up changing how I view life and the things that should be appropriate for just in general behind the camera and in front of the camera. Everything evolves as
I,
you
I
as you go
actually
along.
wanted to
So
ask you that. I mean, and then after doing a lot of movies, you broke the internet.
yeah,
Uh,
I beg you. I
you
beg
broke you
you.
broke the internet with your wife and all that. How was that? How was marriage and fatherhood changed you? Has it changed you in any way?
I think it changes everybody, especially for me. It happened at a very unique period where I was going through a transition. I was just moving back to Ghana. I had just transitioned into being a businessman, building my club, the restaurant, all of those things, getting married, having the baby at the same time. Um, but if anything, it taught me what I would say resilience and the idea of just pushing through, trying to see the long term photo. Because for instance, the economy collapsed in the middle of us restructuring our building project. As I'm saying, when I was building, when cement was 40 CDs and I finished building, cement was 120 CDs for one bag. And I'm buying hundreds of bags at the same time. So you can imagine how that throws everything of what you thought were your timelines and your plans and everything. All of that just disappears. So now you're lost and you're essentially just going by God's grace and everything. I was fortunate because my wife was back then she was very supportive and she was there to take up a lot of the slack. So if anything, that helped me stabilize myself. But there's no way you can marry and go through all of that and it wouldn't change you. So it's made me a lot calmer. The things that used to be so important to me are not as important anymore.
How about fatherhood?
No, so fatherhood by far is the best thing that ever happened to me in
You have a
life.
beautiful
In life,
baby.
thank you.
Baby.
I agree. I agree. I couldn't beyond beautiful. By far the best. I think my life started when I had a baby. I don't think
Interesting.
anything I was doing before was life. I think that was preparation for life. My actual life, the way I see it, actually started after I had that baby. By far the most beautiful. Again, because I think I got lucky. I'm sure every parent thinks that if my child they jump past everything. I think I got lucky because I was blessed with a very beautiful baby, very intelligent, very smart, very well natured, and
How
everything.
many
And
languages does she speak? Like
right now, she's probably on 3 languages. So we
I,
speak.
I, I've seen videos of her at age 3. She was speaking. You guys, she speaks German. Is
So
it
we did German and English. Yeah, we ran a
interesting?
multilingual. So we teach her. So I had to learn German. I'm still learning German, but so obviously my wife speaks German, and I would talk to her in English. So she grew up with both, but she also picks up some of the Ghanaian languages or some of the Indian languages, Malayalam up and then. But For me, that part, I know I can't even pretend. I believe that to be what life is truly about. I'm not saying you when you go born. We could talk about. I'm not saying everybody has to have a child. I'm just saying
Utai
that
no
level
get.
of interaction is very rewarding. I found it rewarding,
Right.
being able to just be there for some of the small things. I wasn't there all the time, but the times that I was there, I found it to be the most rewarding.
Rewarding.
So
Interesting. Interesting. So then, movie, and then you jumped into entrepreneurship.
yes, very good.
Tell
This
us
one there,
about
you
that.
say if you see how. So you say if you see how.
Tell us
So.
about your entrepreneurship journey.
Oh my days, man. No, so that one it's gonna require another podcast altogether, I tell you. I saw Ghana has showed me shaky. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I came to Ghana with, and it's one of the things I hold a lot of resentment for. And sometimes I become bitter and I look and I'm thinking to myself, that's why you guys are where you are in Ghana. And I say you guys, but it's us. That's why we are where we are in Ghana. But it's just because I'm angry and everything. Entrepreneurship in Ghana has showed me a lot of the rough side, but it also shows me why things don't really go well in Ghana. I believe in collaboration. I believe everything that you should do not should be, but it's easier when you do it with people. You understand? So anything that I build, anything that I do, I've always usually done it with people. I bring my talents, you bring your whatever, and then we come together. My situation with Ghana, I ended up bringing the wrong people around me, and that cost me very dearly. When I say very dearly, I mean I'm not going to go into too much detail, but imagine if we're all coming together. We're all coming together, me, you, and 3 other people, and we're all saying, hey, listen, we're all going to bring an amount of money. Let's say so and so, big money in dollars. We're all going to bring that money. We're all going to combine, and then you, Joey, you have the money. You go pay the landlady. You go pay the rent. You understand? Because we're going into a long-term thing we believe in, so we're going to pay everything up front for so-and-so years. Boom, we're done. We finish everything. But I'll give you all that money. You're representing our group.
Yeah.
And you as Joey, you have the fate of all these people in your hands. And you decide that all the money where we don't contribute, you go and give 1 year of that money and then keep 70% of that money for yourself. Now that's short-term thinking, because again, yes, you have that money for the short term, but what happens later on when the landlady says, I need my money back?
Yeah.
So imagine me sitting there a couple
Thinking-
years later and somebody comes and knocks and I get a phone call and somebody saying, hey, listen, you owe me, I'm talking about big money. You understand? I'm talking about over 1 million CDs. Somebody calling and saying, you owe me this. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I gave that money. Yeah, it was like, no, I never got that money. Because the person and people that we gave that to never happened. Imagine that happens to me when I pay that money, when we pay that money, me and my partner, the dollar was 1:6. So I paid a bill for 5 years when dollar was 1:6. And I'm repaying that same thing how many years later when dollar is 1:15? How do you do that to a business that you yourself were involved in? Because again, that's short-term thinking. You're crippling your own system, because it might work for a few months, but eventually that money will have to be replaced. And that in itself is probably what informed my most interesting 3 years. So the last 3 years, I've been fighting tooth and nail to keep businesses that we started above water. And the fact that we not only were able to keep it above water, we actually thrived. We actually thrived in the middle of a crashing economy.
You did. I mean, the businesses are Play Club, right?
So the
Play
club, Lupita, the
Lupita.
restaurant, which is closed for now, and then Cello, the restaurant, which we built.
Yeah.
When I say the fact that those buildings are even standing, the fact that they're still running and actually still, when I say that we fought tooth and nail, despite, imagine there's somebody do this matter to you, it becomes something else. But it also shows that if you work with people who see the long term, people who can thrive through everything, anything
can
is
happen.
possible. And now I talk about collaboration because you say, Gokai, say, if you something we start together. I don't do any, people know this, I don't do anything by myself.
Yeah.
Anything that I do, I say, hey, so when we were starting the club, went to Joe and I say, hey, listen, you're big in nightlife right now. Let's do this as a partnership. And we didn't do that we did that as partners who were building something from the scratch. We literally built the culture. We were changing the landscape of everything together. Now, of course, there's things that happen in between that might dissolve that. But I appreciated the fact that you came on with that visionary mindset.
Of long term.
And if you have all those people around you, it becomes possible to do anything. So we survived people stealing our money, people embezzling our money, people, the economy going from dollar from 1:6 to all of that. Survived all of that and still were able to adapt and change. And now we're in a situation where, by God's grace, We're settled. I don't have those partners anymore. It took a while, but now I have a clean business that I can actually say I trust my partners.
Yeah.
I can actually say these people aren't going to do any of this. But now I'm able to speak about this because I've been quiet for a while. But
Yeah.
in Ghana, sometimes when you're super quiet, everybody assumes one thing or the other. So it's
Because I'm sure
important.
everybody just looks at okay, Mawuli, and but they don't also know that the demons that are
But if you
chasing
wake
you.
up some, hey, bro. Yeah, no, it's not easy.
Yeah, and sometimes
it's
you
not
actually
easy.
need to speak about it.
It's
Yeah.
not easy. So I think more the point I'm making is if you have the right people around you, anything is possible. And I feel like that's something that you're going to have to tell me because I don't know your full team, but with seeing how fast you've grown, I don't think that you've done it alone.
No,
I don't think you've done it alone because you've expanded so quickly. BV Social, BV Merchandise, BV this, BV Films, BV like you
I think for us the as you mentioned, the main thing that has really helped us is the team. For us, it's
Yes.
our team. You
Building
understand?
that team and
building that
running
team to
that,
be able
yeah.
to trust that okay, you know what, we are building something much bigger than
Yes.
us, and then we have the trust of everybody. Trust, and then the team is what has held us to what we've done so far.
I don't know how you've done it, but you guys have tried. It becomes a thing where even with Rhythm and Brunch and everything, where we go to all these different countries, and now people, I know of BlacVolta, I've heard of BlacVolta, and of this and that. When you're able to transcend your borders, then it means that you're doing something right. So whatever it is that you guys are doing, it's great. I guess the point I'm making is you can always find like-minded people, and together there's nothing that
There's
we can't
nothing
do. Yeah.
that threw you into entrepreneurship, and then that means therefore imagine going from the screens on being an actor
Bro,
and then being
bro.
thrown into entrepreneurship.
Bro, I mean, I was dabbling before. I told you I started the production company. So we created a small film. I had, Gene Edu, one of the best writers, directors in the country. He did Sarkodie's boxing video. He did the one with the roads and everything. By far one of the baddest guys in the game. Wrote and directed. We formed a small production company. We created a film which we ended up selling. It's called Entangled.
Okay.
My first film that I produced and actually made money from.
I
And after I
see.
made money from the producing side, that's when I realized that I actually don't want to be just an actor. I always want to be. So these days, I'm only on a film if I'm also on the producing side. So what we did in Namibia, for instance, Skeleton Coast, one of the biggest films that we've ever done. Brought in everybody from Hollywood, Eric Roberts, all of these people. Also production with Play Network and then Manjula Studios, Namibia. Coming together. When you guys have a chance, check out the trailer. It's
It's
almost
nice.
out.
It
it's
doesn't
something
look
else.
like something that was even shot in.
No.
Africa. It's
Namibia is
crazy.
also one of the most beautiful places that I've been. But it all just comes back to this collaboration, to find people around you, and you're going to be knocked down. Somebody will do you, yawa, problem no day. But it's more the take it on the chin and then just move. Even me talking about, this happened to me, this happened to me. Tell everybody the see shaking for this Ghana here. D Black was on the show. He spoke about how he lost like a bunch of money doing some other business project or something. Tell everybody see shaking for that. Yeah. So it's not even like I'm saying, oh my God, woe is me type of thing. I just believe that maybe the more we share about our woes as well as our successes, other people might be able to learn from it because there might be someone who's struggling right now with a business, heavily in debts, this and that, and you're thinking, oh my God, how did I get here? But there's always a light as long as you stay true to your vim.
So would you say you're moving more into becoming an entrepreneur? Are you leaving the creative side, or because I see you dabbling in a lot of things? Let's speak about Rhythm and Brunch before that.
Sure.
Sure. You've also started with what's the idea with Rhythm and Brunch?
Am I?
Yeah, I wanted to ask. So, like, is it like something that you've taken on, and where do you guys want to go with it? Is it one of your business ventures and the things that you're doing?
Gotcha.
as
Yeah.
Nollywood?
So at the moment, Rhythm and Brunch actually takes almost all of my time, which is very interesting because it wasn't what it was supposed to be. But what Rhythm and Brunch is essentially just the dream of young people who know that something is possible and then just going ahead to do it. You understand? So a random tweet from Johnny Stone, replied to by Jan for the two of them getting together to say, hey, listen, we can actually do this. Coming up with the idea, sharing the idea with, most of us grew up together. Jan for and most of us have known each other for a long time. So much like you, it's like, hey, there's this idea that we think is going to be amazing. Let's all come together and let's see how we can bring different expertise to the something. So we have Amaba, who's a medical doctor, Joseph, who's in oil and engineering.
Who's acting in
all the
other
way,
arts.
yeah, you understand. Yanfo who runs social Ghana, and then everybody just, now we've essentially all left our main jobs. Not left, but the expansion has been a lot bigger than we
Really?
planned. Yes, we went to Nigeria once. We ended up going 3 times. And then that sort of sped up. So now we've done Nigeria, we've done Rwanda, we've done Kenya, we're doing Uganda, we're doing Tanzania. We're supposed to do Grenada actually, but it was supposed to be a one-time thing. But it ended up becoming a bit of a phenomenon, mainly because, especially for the target market that we sought to target, and the fact that we put in a lot of effort into putting that show together. Otherwise, probably the one party in the world that we probably planned more than they did plan like some state events and everything. Yeah, anybody who's seen us or seen our stories, we probably have like 20-something meetings about the lights, about where we go place the lights. We go film meets like for 3 hours about all of those things. But it's just joint dedication and everything. So Rhythm and Brunch is just young people coming together to grow what we believe will be one of the biggest things on the continent.
Interesting. Mawuli Gavor on the BlacVolta.
Yeah.
I wanna keep. Typically, I like to keep our podcasts very, very short.
Sure.
So I want to ask from you, if for anybody looking at you who's always been a fan of what you do within the space, what would be your advice to them? Anybody that's just come out of school is looking to find their feet, looking at you as a role model, what would you be able to tell that person?
Role model, personal life, definitely don't follow me. Because everybody is going to be different. So I definitely can't advise you on your personal life. But with regards to just chasing your dreams, what worked for me is if I have an idea or if you have an idea, chances are me and another person, by the time you have started your idea, you've started executing your idea. I would have thought about the idea, I would have tried it out already, I would have failed already, I would have revised it, probably failed again, revised it again, and probably gotten it right by the time that you are about to start. So for me, it's all about expedience. It's all about
So execution and is very, very
number one,
important.
press the start button. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, press that start button. Don't worry, money no day.
Your money they're complaining and talking and
It's too much. So if you're out of school and if it doesn't matter. You have a dream, problem no day. Don't say, oh, how will I get the money, or not where will I get the money from? It's just, okay, this is the dream. This is what I'm going to do. I'm pressing start today. I don't know how I'm going to finish it. It doesn't matter. I might go halfway and I might fail. I might come back to the beginning and everything. But because of the timing, then you can say that, oh, yes. So for instance, as I'm sitting here, despite everything that I've gone through and failing and having people mess with us and everything, as I'm sitting here, I still have 3 businesses that are still within my control. A fully operational, beautiful nightclub, an amazing restaurant, a rooftop lounge which I'm reopening, and the construction angle where we're building units all the way in East Legon and everything. But we did all of that through a lot of failure. Through a lot of failure. And we did all of this in 3 years. Because it was just happening at the end. There's other things that, including Rhythm and Brunch and everything, there's other things that are happening that I'm not going to talk about. But
we need you to talk about it.
No. You say you want the thing to be short.
We need
you
to
say you want
talk,
the thing to be short.
Because our next question is what's next for Mawuli Gavor. So, and we want to hear what we want to hear. What exactly are you doing?
So you asked whether I wanted to be on the business side or the entertainment side.
Yeah.
I've always felt that I wanted to be the one who does both. I don't know if you know who Kevin Feige is. Kevin Feige he's one of the heads of Marvel Studios. And he's one of the reasons, those of people who watch Avengers, Iron Man, and all of those things, he's one of the reasons the Marvel Cinematic Universe unfolded the way it did. Because he had a long-term plan. Say, hey, we're going to spend the next 5 years building these. So we're going to do Iron Man 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to do Thor 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to do Spider-Man 1, 2, 3. And then in 10 years, we're going to have all of these people come together and have this, and that's how you have one of the most impactful things in cinematic history. But it came from that level of planning where somebody understands entertainment, but he also understood the business side. So I was telling you, I started my production company in Nigeria about 10 years ago, before Netflix and everything had taken, not because I knew what we were doing, but I got my friends together and we all invested and we started it. You understand? And that's where we're going to into the space where we're just going to keep trying new things. At the moment, what I'm doing is finding a best way to balance the 2 sides of it, the corporate side and the entertainment side. So with Rhythm and Brunch, for instance, now we exist in 5 countries. We have about 4 more plans. So by the end of the year, we're going to be in 9 countries across the continent. We have a much bigger team. We have to figure out how to structure it in a way that it's sustainable. I have my 3 businesses, my lounge, my club, my everything. I'm now into real estate, where we build houses. 6, if you're looking for a 6-unit, 4-bedroom townhouse in East Legon, hit me up. I did for you. It's called Oak Ridge Developments. But how we gonna do it? We go move. But for me, it's about combining the 2. finding ways to, because I'm an entertainment person. That one you
Yeah.
can never take it from me.
Yeah.
I'm a movie, I'm a music person and everything. So finding ways to live both sides, something that the BVs and the rest of the world have. They've also found, BV said figure out and me make a day. BV to figure out how to do blogging. And they say, oh, call Oscars or call your head. And I say, yeah, BV will go, you go post. So when BV post, say yesterday's price is not today. I say, oh, you are. Oh, you are. Oh, you are. I'm proud of you, bro. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you.
It's been an amazing episode with Mawuli Gavor.
I'm proud of you, bro.
Celebrity actor, entrepreneur. Today he's telling us he's in real estate. I'm sure he'll buy. One of these days you go sell everything, or you go
It
sell.
remains smart. I'm going to sell toilet paper. I dey tell you, T-roll. If I get, I go do T-roll safe. Me, if you give me a chance, I go do T-roll safe.
But it's been an amazing episode on the BlacVolta Podcast, guys. Like, subscribe. I know you guys love these kinds of conversations when we bring them in, and then we'll make it a point to keep on entertaining you. Subscribe to the channel BlacVolta Podcast on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcast. And Mawuli, do you have any last words for your audience?
Whenever you feel like having an amazing drink, stop by Cello Boy and Restaurant. We have the best cocktail in the world. It's called the Ginzy.
I can't believe this guy plugs in everything.
One time. But who will plug on? Me, my own business. Baba, come drink. We're in Osu, 15 First Osu Lane. Come through. We there with you. Nyaneva Junction. First drink is on me.
Anyway, till our next episode, we'll see you guys soon. Peace out.
One time.